Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. I'm Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. I am in my bathing suit and my cover up, so you're going to have to forgive me. And I do have a little bit of a sun face because I was out in the sun for 4th of July. So I have not been hiding out. I have been working on the digital course, so I should have it pretty soon. Got another kid getting their wisdom teeth out next week, so between gauze changing, I should be able to get some more of the classes done. I'm aiming to have it available like the 13th or the 14th of July. So there'll be a free course that you can take, and then there will be the full course that you can purchase. So hope to see some of you in that. And you also have the option to book one-on-one appointments with me to get tutoring. So it's actually going to be a really cool thing. There's quizzes, there's PDFs, there's all kinds of fun stuff. Also, I'm still running my 20% off sale. So I hope to see some of you for readings yourself. I will be able to do those next week while my son's recovering. There's a link down below if you would like to book an appointment with me. So let's talk about Harry. There is an article that just came out in the Mirror Online, and it says Harry's deep regret over decision he never thought would threaten his whole life plan. There are some quotes there. Deep regret is quoted, threaten his whole life plan. I will link the article down below as well. Prince Harry is reportedly finding his new life in the US long and lonely, again quoted, as he lacks practical skills while Meghan Markle is in her, quote, natural environment. So it goes on to say that he really doesn't have anything to do. Royal expert Tom Quinn has presented this information. Apparently, the threat of 45 becoming 47, we're talking about the American president, is really scaring him. So apparently, after he walks the dogs in the morning, Harry, not 45, possibly 47. After he walks the dogs in the morning, he has nothing to do. He's just kind of hanging out, and Meghan is doing her own thing. You can read this article again at the link below. So, what I thought we would do today, we'll presume that this article is the real deal, that this is true. He really is lonely. I can't imagine that he's not. I can't imagine that he really has much to do. We did know from the cooperation with Spotify that Harry had some unique ideas for the interviews that he would do. He wanted to interview 45 and Putin about their childhoods, which is just bananas. So let's see if we can help him out. Let's see if we can give him a little bit of direction. We'll look at what he can do if he wants to stay in the United States, how he can secure his place here. We will also look at what he can do industry-wise, like what he can do to be industrious if he chooses to stay here in the United States, and what he can do if he wants to mend fences and go home. So let's bring up the card view. As always, thank you so much for being here. I miss you guys. I know I haven't been doing content very much, but trust me, I'm doing a lot of recordings for the class. So I'm going absolutely bananas over there. It's bright and early in the morning, and I'm going to be spending a little bit more time in the sun today, evening out these tan lines. So I will see you guys in just a bit. We're going to bring up the card view. I hope you're having a fantastic day and a great start to summer. So, all right. So let's start with what can Harry do to secure his citizenship here? Because apparently that is a concern for him right now. Let's see what he can do to secure his citizenship. Again, this is just like how I would do readings for you. Problem, we're going to look for solutions in the cards. So what can he do for optimum results? The World, Ace of Swords in reverse. Got that Four of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Dominant energy up top is the Moon. And underneath the surface is that Devil in reverse. So this really does direct more to not securing his life here in the United States, but to going back to what he knows best. Sometimes when we ask the cards a question, it will direct us where we need to go. I tell my clients a lot of the time, the universe will make the path that you're supposed to be on super easy for you. It'll just kind of go through like hot knife through butter, smoothing on cream cheese, whatever you want to call it. So this world card says the game is over. This adventure has ended. Remember, the major arcana is representative of the journey of the fool. The journey of the fool ends with the world card, where he transfers into another lifetime, into the in between, where he will review the lifetime, all of that. It's the end of the journey. The journey's over. Unfortunately, the journey is over. The Ace of Swords is in reverse. This is cutting off, not new beginnings, not reestablishing oneself, not finding the next big thing to do. He's got to cut his losses here. That Four of Pentacles is about either hanging on to your goods or dumping them out. He's got to cut his losses because there is no future work for him here. He can say what he needs to say and move on. He's going to have to say his goodbyes. The dominant energy up here is the Moon card in reverse, which is revelation. We're seeing the things that everyone has been seeing and sensing and knowing all along. We're seeing those things. They're coming out of the waters. You can see our little crawfish down there coming out of the waters, revealing oneself. The moon, when it comes out, much like the sun, does reveal, but it reveals those shadow truths. So the revelation of shadow truths is going to be his best course of direction here. And this devil card in reverse, breaking free of the devil. This doesn't have to be a person. This can be a lifestyle or a behavior or even a way of thinking. Now, when I do this 7-card spread, it's not, determined that this goes here and this goes here, the dominant energy and the shadow energy. But the fact that the shadow energy landed on this guy, he needs to say his piece. He needs to break free of this way of thinking. So that is really his best course of action if he wants to stay in the United States, is he can't stay in the United States. So let's switch up our second question. Not what can he do to be industrious here in the United States, but what can he do to be industrious personally? And by personally, I mean like his own brand. So let's see what we've got. What can he do? Those jumbled up emotions. He's got to get a handle on his jumbled up emotions. That is what's going to make him happy and give him a new start. And then he can move on. A lot of people are afraid of that 10 of Swords. We're going to talk about that 10 of Swords in just a minute. We've got the Judgment card, and then under the surface, there we go. There we go. This is a good sign. Now, some people would look at this spread and go, oh boy, that's a little scary. We've got disappointment. We've got the stabbed in the back business. Not at all. So what this is this is Harry getting a hold of his emotions, the emotions that have been running wild, the ones that have defined him, the revelations of all of the pain. My good friend, the fitness hutch, Paul Hutchinson, what he says all the time is where you direct your attention is where your energy is going to grow. Unfortunately, Harry has directed his attention at his pain way too much. And a lot of people have taken advantage of it, quite frankly, and capitalized on it. So he needs to get a hold of that, wrangle it in. He needs to wrangle that in. This will bring the happiness out. He needs to stop focusing on what has hurt him. He needs to decide up here, the Judgment card, what is good and what is bad for him. He needs to make that decision now. Once he does this, once we start looking at the cup as half full, we get a full cup. The cup will fill up all the way, and we will put these pains behind us. This isn't some magic elixir that he's going to get from a therapist or a technique or something like that. This is a decision that he needs to make on his own. He could see therapist after therapist after therapist, guru after guru after guru, psychic after psychic after psychic. This is a decision he needs to make up all on his own. So an athlete at the starting line makes up their mind whether they are going to win that race. Their psychology decides, I am going to win. I am going to get a gold medal. Someone who starts a business, I am going to be successful. You define your level of success and how you are going to be throughout your endeavor. He needs to decide now. It's not too late, that he is ready to walk on the sunny side of the street. This depression, disappointment in himself is not because he has lost his mother at this point. Now it is because he flew the coop, left the castle keep, and went and became a failure. He's got to get over that too. So this is not a failure. Quite frankly, he was not equipped to be out there. It's like putting a fish in a tree or whatever that saying is. This was not a failure on his part. This was having too many people tell him that he could be a fish in a tree. So I don't think that that's a bad thing at all. I don't think it's a bad thing. But under the surface, this is going to make him feel like a failure. Before we move on, what can he do to correct this feeling of failure about business and relationships and whatnot? He needs to understand that those worlds are different. So the behavior panel, which I love the behavior panel. They did a whole, they have discussions about microcultures. So a microculture, an example of this is the royal family. The royal family is unlike any other family that we know. It is not a business family like the Disneys or the Gateses or anything like that. It is not a family like that because they are a family on parade. They are bred to lead and they are on parade. They are celebrities from the moment they are born. This is a very different aspect than a family that has a business that they're running. It's very, very different. They have to be on display. They have to be leaders in the world. They have to be leaders in their endeavors, like the Duchy of Cornwall. So what he needs to do to understand his failure outside of the castle keep is that these are two different worlds. He was never intended to leave the royal family. He was not bred for it. He was not raised for it. You cannot take him out of there and drop him into the regular world. Now, Tsar Nicholas II, his whole family that were all exiled from Russia after the revolution, they all did work to assimilate into various cultures. His mother went to back to the Danish court. I believe it was the Danish court. It's very early in the morning. Went back there and was kept there. But some of the other cousins and family members went all over the place. The Tsar's sister was living in above a barber shop, I believe, or a beauty salon in Canada. That she died in a 1-bedroom apartment. Shocking change. She was very happy though, so not a bad thing. But well, I shouldn't say very happy. She made the best of her life. But that was the situation that was foisted upon the Romanovs. This he did to himself. He was never supposed to leave the castle keep. He should have stayed there. His life was charted out. He just wanted to reach for that brass rank that was never intended for him. So he needs to just understand that the safety of being within the royal family, the collective, if you will, that tribe. I'm really big on tribalism. I know it's not not a very popular thing, but I do like the concept of tribalism because within tribalism, this is an editorial, guys. Within tribalism, we stick to our own local people. Now, I'm not saying, colors and creeds, those kinds of things, but our own local people. And the charity that we extend to those in need are local. So we do have some agency over who is getting our charity. It's about taking care of your village and your tribe, not by, again, race or creed, but by location. So I like tribalism in terms of location, not not exclusivity in terms of like what you are and what you were bred to be. But in this case, and sorry, that was just an editorial. In this case with Harry, that tribalism, he is not viable outside of this microculture, this tribe. He's not viable outside of it because he is not bred or skilled to do anything outside of it. He is bred and skilled to be within it, and he should have assumed his role and been happy with it. Frogmore Cottage was a lovely place. He should have shut his mouth and stayed there. But instead, his wife wanted the big house in the Hollywood Hills, and now they've got a house in Montecito, which is probably costing them a small fortune, allegedly. So, is his life going to be different if he returns to the royal fold, if he goes back on bended knee and says, "Hey, I made a huge mistake"? It will be different. He is not going to be in, he has to live with the decisions that he's made, and he has to understand that he is going to be knocked down many, many, many pegs. So, so we got all this emotional stuff. So now, what can he do to bridge that gap with his father? Oh, we'll get to William, don't you worry. What can he do to bridge that gap with his father? He has really made some poor choices. And the poor choice is the wife. Oh, shocker. Did we know this? Yeah, we did know this. The poor choice is the wife. He needs to really bend the knee and atone for what he's done. He said a lot of things. That book is nightmarish. The Ace of Swords here suggests that possibly we get a book about, the bad behavior and the shadiness of the wife. He's going to have to be a jerk a little bit, I think. I think this is the wages of sin. I think they do want him to say, I was under. Now, is this public? Is this to the family? Possibly it's to the family. With this high priestess, it's probably not a public thing. I think this is really a testament to the poor behavior and an explanation, and really, really, really recommitting himself to the family, not fence riding anymore. He can't fence ride this. So it's absolutely going to be a very difficult thing. He will have to choose. I shouldn't say they're making him choose. The best course of action for him to resolve with his father is he's going to have to choose. He's going to have to say, I am falling on bended knee. I made some huge mistakes. I betrayed the family. I am at your service, and this is what I'm telling you. Predicting that is for William too. I think they're both going to be standing there. William looks much, much taller to me energetically right now. I think William is taking on a lot of responsibilities. I did not like how King Charles looked in the photograph of him meeting the new prime minister, and I'm going to do a brief reading on that as well in another video, so you can look for that. I did not like how he looked. So what does Harry have to do to rectify the situation with the Prince of Wales? Oof. I just don't think there's no salvaging this relationship at this time. William may be ordered by his father to behave accordingly, but I absolutely fear for Harry when William becomes king. It's almost like he's going to get sent off to some barren rock island at the very tippy top of Scotland in the North Sea. Like, good luck. There you go. You're getting a shack. I just don't see that this William is not willing to meet him halfway at this point. The fury is right in his chest. He is ready to roar, let's put it that way. So, to be continued. As always with tarot, you have to remember that we are working with the energies of the moment. We are working with the attitudes and the feelings of the moment. So, things may change. Hopefully, they'll change. So, I do hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will be back. I'm going to batch a bunch of videos today. So I'll have some videos set up for you guys. Like I said, next week on the 11th, my son is having wisdom teeth taken out. So he'll be nice and puffy. And on the 12th, I turn 53. Yippee! So I will be taking care of my son. I get to baby my son and mother my son, over mother my son, as Greg says, Gregopedia. But that is what I will be doing. Hopefully, I will be able to jump in and out of some recordings, but I am open for business for readings. I'm open for business for doing recordings for the class. I'm going to try and get that class out to you as quickly as possible. So thank you so much, everybody. Again, please like, share, and subscribe and comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on this and let me know what other readings you would like me to dive into. So more than happy to do that. Have a great day, everybody.